Your power is returning to you. The universe is being loud right now. The moon paired with Six of Cups. Let me show you exactly what that means, because these two cards together are saying something really specific about your strength, about where it is actually coming from. And it is not where you think. It is not in some new version of yourself you're trying to become. It is in something you already had, something you already knew, something that got buried but never disappeared. I pulled these for anyone who has been doubting themselves lately, anyone who feels like they lost their footing, like they cannot trust their own voice anymore. This reading is quiet. It is asking you to sit with it, to feel it more than think about it. So take a breath. Really, because what is coming through is not a loud message, it is a whisper you have been ignoring. The moon. Okay, so this card showed up first, and I need you to understand what it is actually saying. Everyone thinks the moon is about confusion or deception or not seeing clearly, and yeah, that is part of it, but that is not the whole story. The moon is about what lives beneath the surface. It is about intuition, dreams, the part of you that knows things before your brain catches up. Look at this card. There is a path between two towers, a dog and a wolf, a crayfish crawling out of water. Everything is in twilight. Nothing is fully visible, and that is the point. Your strength right now is not in clarity. It is in your ability to move forward even when you cannot see the whole picture. The moon is saying you have been in a period of uncertainty. Maybe you have been second-guessing every decision. Maybe you feel like you cannot trust yourself because things feel murky or unclear. But wait, that murkiness is not a problem. It is protection. It is your subconscious doing its work. The moon rules the parts of you that do not need proof or logic, the parts that just know, and those parts have been trying to talk to you through dreams, maybe through feelings you cannot explain, through that pull towards something or away from something that does not make rational sense but feels true in your body. The moon is asking you to stop waiting for certainty before you trust yourself, because some things cannot be seen in daylight. Some truths only show up in the dark, and you have been in the dark for a reason, not because you are lost, but because you are learning to see differently, learning to trust the kind of knowing that does not come with evidence. Six of Cups. This is where it gets really specific. So the Six of Cups is memory, childhood, the past, innocence, but it is also about emotional foundation, the things that shaped you before you even knew you were being shaped. In this card there are two children. Flowers in cups. Everything feels safe and simple and pure. And paired with the moon, this is saying something really direct. Your strength is not something you need to build from scratch. It is something you need to remember. There was a version of you, probably when you were younger, who knew things, who trusted things, who had instincts that were sharp and clear before the world taught you to doubt them, before you learned to second-guess yourself, to shrink, to ask permission, to wait for validation. The Six of Cups is bringing that version of you back. Not in a nostalgic way, not in a childish way, but in a way that says you already had this power, you already knew how to trust yourself. Something or someone taught you not to, and now you're unlearning that. The moon and the Six of Cups together are pulling up old emotional patterns. Yes, but they are also pulling up old strengths, old instincts, the part of you that used to know what you wanted without needing three opinions first. The part of you that could feel when something was wrong even if you could not explain why. That part is still in you. It has just been covered over, and right now it is resurfacing. You might be thinking about your past more than usual. You might be dreaming about people or places you have not thought about in years. You might be feeling things you thought you were over. That is not regression. That is retrieval. You're going back to get something you left behind. So what do these two cards mean together for your inner strength? They are saying your power is not in the future. It is not in becoming someone new or tougher or more confident in some way you are not yet. Your power is in the parts of you that already exist. The parts you forgot about or were told to ignore. The moon is the intuition you have been dismissing. The Six of Cups is the self you were before you learned to dismiss it. And together they are saying stop looking forward for your strength. Look back, look down, look inward, because what you are searching for is already there. You have been trying to trust yourself by using logic, by waiting for proof, by making sure everything makes sense. But your real strength is not logical, it is instinctual, it is emotional. It is the kind of knowing that does not need a reason, and that kind of knowing was your default once, before fear got louder, before doubt became a habit. You're being called back to that place, not to stay there, but to bring it with you, to let that version of you inform this version of you. To stop treating your gut feelings like they are unreliable just because they are not rational. Okay, so what do you actually do with this? First, pay attention to your dreams. Write them down even if they do not make sense. The moon is trying to tell you something, and it is using the language of symbols. You do not need to interpret them perfectly, just notice them. Second, think about who you were at like 10 or 12 years old. What did you love? What made you feel safe? What did you know about yourself before anyone else had an opinion? Write it down, because that younger version of you had access to something true, something that got buried under expectations and trauma and trying to fit in. And third, stop asking for permission to trust yourself. I mean that literally. Notice how many times you check with someone else before you make a decision. Notice how many times you dismiss your own feeling because it does not sound smart enough or certain enough. Your strength is not in certainty, it is in trusting the uncertainty. It is in saying I do not know why, but this feels right, or this feels wrong, and moving accordingly. I want you to ask yourself a few things. What is something you knew about yourself as a kid that you stopped believing as an adult? When was the last time you had a gut feeling and ignored it? And what happened after? And what would it feel like to trust yourself even when you cannot explain why? Sit with those. You do not need to answer them right now, but let them move around in you. Let them open something. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are remembering, and that is a different thing entirely. The strength you are looking for is not something you need to earn or prove or build. It is something you are uncovering. It was always yours. You just forgot where you put it. The moon is lighting the path. The Six of Cups is handing you the map, and both of them are saying the same thing. You already know. You have always known. Now you just have to let yourself believe it. If this reading confirms something you already knew, say so below. This is a collective reading. More readings on Lorelai's Tarot link is in the bio. These cards are not asking you to be perfect. They are asking you to be honest. Take what is for you and leave the rest behind. Anyone messaging you in my name asking for money is a scammer.